In last week's video, I suggested that Christians should be involved within their social circles. I didn't mention anything specific that we might get involved with. This week I want to make a suggestion. I was born and raised in the north of England on the South Yorkshire coalfields, and that automatically made me a Labour supporter. Labour, of course, is the socialist party of our country. But many years later, when Neil Kinnock became the leader of the Labour Party, I could not vote for him because he had views that as a Christian I could not possibly support. And so, out of character, I decided that I would vote for the Conservatives. Ever increasingly, I have found that there is no difference anymore between the major political parties in our country. They all seem to be going in the same direction, which is nowhere, certainly nowhere good for the Brits. They all support everything that a Christian cannot possibly support. And this leaves me personally with a problem, because I take very seriously my duty to vote. Recently I have attended some meetings where a member of the United Kingdom Independence Party, or UKIP as we normally call it, have spoken to us. More recently I went to a Thai restaurant to hear a talk by the MP Christopher Gill, who is speaking for the UKIP these days. He used to be Conservative, but now he's joined UKIP. And amazingly, before we began the meal, one of the leaders of the evening jumped up and said, "Before we eat, we want to say grace." I was absolutely shocked and amazed. It was only a small gesture, but for me and for some of the people who had gone there with me, friends of mine, it meant that this group respected God and our Christian culture. And we were all overjoyed at what they did. Now you may be thinking, where's the Christian content in this week's video message? Well, this is what I meant last week by Christians getting involved in our society. Let me ask you a question. How many of you people vote? How many of you believe it is in our own interest to vote? How many of you want to see a good government in our country? You know, we are somewhere in the region of £800 billion in debt in this country, and soon it will rise to about £12 billion of our debt. Yet we are told that we have to give, or we are being told right now, that we have to give more to Europe. More billions of pounds to Europe. Folks, isn't this lunacy? We're on the verge of bankruptcy and we're giving millions away in foreign aid and we're giving billions to Europe. Well, surely we cannot continue this way. You know, there's an old saying, charity must begin at home. As well as all this, our children are being taught in schools things about sex that I'm sure that we parents and grandparents do not want them to be taught. There are many things about our mainstream governments that are ungodly and unrighteous, and quite frankly I cannot vote for them ever again. So my vote personally will go to UKIP. And I would advise all Christians to examine what this party stands for, what they're trying to do, what they want to do in our country, and to consider giving them, as Christians, some support wherever possible. I just want to reiterate the importance of Christians becoming involved in these matters. It is equally important that we pray for and vote for righteous leaders. Just as important as it is to read our Bibles and attend church services. It's an area that many Christians have opted out of these days. And let me tell you, we're now paying the price. Along with this video, I'm showing the video that I shot of Christopher Gill. It's only about 13 minutes long, and I recommend you watch it. Remember, as I said last week, our problems are gigantic in this country. But Goliath was a giant, and he was toppled by a young shepherd boy. So let's all pray and get involved to topple this spirit of the Antichrist that has invaded our nation, and also the United States of America and Europe. You know, when the church rises up in the power of God, we can do exploits, as Daniel said in the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 32. This is not a party political broadcast on behalf of the UKIP. I'm a Christian pastor, but I'm looking for righteousness in our country. And I'm looking for righteous men to vote for, righteous men to lead us in the ways of righteousness, because surely we must all agree that our country is not being led by righteous people. So that's why I'm making this video. Have a blessed week, folks. But don't forget, we're here to be soldiers of Christ. Not just to go to church on a Sunday to get blessed, but we are here to be soldiers 7 days a week. You know, there's a great sermon on the audio page of this site by Lance Lambert. I came across it and I managed to get it on our site, and I advise every one of you to listen to his message. I've had to put it on in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, but it's well worth listening to. So go onto the audio page and have a listen. It will challenge you like nothing else will. Have a great week. Bye for now.